Okay, students, good morning to all of you. We have started a political science lesson, that is why do we need a parliament. In the previous lectures, I have explained you what is a parliament, what is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. I have shown you the pictures from the textbook, why it is a symbolic representation, that also I have mentioned you. Then what is the election process, how many MPs from each constituency are elected and they represent us in the Lok Sabha? So 45 MPs they represent in Lok Sabha and 245 in Rajya Sabha. So that also we have discussed. Once that election is done, now once they are representing us in the parliament, we then learned about what is the role of the parliament. Correct? We have learned the role of parliament. So in that, the first thing we learn that to select the national government, म्हणजे गव्हर्नमेंट कुणाचं बनणार आहे. तर त्याच्यामध्ये आपण मेजॉरिटी पार्टी, मायनॉरिटी, कोॲलिशन, that all we learn. What are the minimum, means what is the number of seats those are required to form a government, central government, that also I have discussed. Correct? Do you remember? Once the government is formed, maybe one party or coalition party will form government depends on the number of seats they won. So that decides the party in the government. Then prime minister is the leader of that party who had made a government. Correct? That all we have seen. So to select the national government is the first role of parliament. Then second role, to control, guide and inform the government, means the working, then suggesting, taking decisions, giving opinions, that all come under the control, guide, and inform government. And the third role that we discussed is lawmaking. So, in the beginning of first lecture, I have told you what are the three different organs of government. So, all those organs are very much important and they all work together. Only the judiciary, what we are going to learn afterwards, is the independent organ that we are going to learn in the coming chapters. So, this is all about the parliament where we have learned all the details about parliament. Now we are moving on to the next part of that lesson. Who are the people in parliament? Now I will be sharing you the textbook. From the textbook we are going to read page number 39. Okay. So on Saturday we finished with this lawmaking. Now who are the people in parliament, that we are going to read it. Okay, parliament now has more and more people from different backgrounds. So we learn that to give the opportunity to the all underprivileged who are not getting those facilities, who are living in isolated areas, rural areas. So to accommodate that, we have some provisions in our constitution that we learn, that is a reservation. Correct? Do you remember? Parliament now has more and more people from different backgrounds. For example, there are more rural members as also members from many regional parties. Groups and people that were till now unrepresented are belonging to get elected to beginning to get elected to the parliament. आता regional parties म्हणजे काय? महाराष्ट्र is a state and India is a country. नाव महाराष्ट्रामध्ये आपण मराठी भाषा बोलतो, आपल्या टेरिटरीचं स्ट्रक्चर वेगळं आहे, जिओग्राफिकल कंडिशन्स वेगळे आहेत. सो स्टेट देर आर सम पार्टीज विच आर रिजनल पार्टीज, म्हणजे शिवसेना रिजनल पार्टी. ओके, जी त्या स्टेटमध्ये काम करते जास्त, आता ज्यांचं गव्हर्नमेंट आहे. ओके, मनसे इज ऑल्सो द रिजनल पार्टी. सो दॅट is the meaning of regional party, which mostly work in their area, in their state. That those parties we are calling them as regional. They don't work on centrally, means they do join the government, but their main focus is their region. Okay, that is, those are all regional parties. So there has also been an increase in political participation from the Dalits and backward classes. This is possible because of the provision in the constitution, what we learn in the previous. There is a reservation for those people so that all citizens can be accommodated. Okay, so this is what is the meaning of there has also been an increase in the political participation from the Dalits and backward classes. Let us look at the following table that shows the percentage of the population who voted in Lok Sabha election in different years. म्हणजे आता तुम्हाला युनिव्हर्सल फ्रँचायझने तुम्हाला राईट दिलेला आहे, राईट टू व्होटचा. बट स्टील if you look at this table and if you look at the percentage, you will come to know that there are still not 100% people who are taking participation in the election process. Okay, in the first Lok Sabha election which held in 1951-52 year, what was the percentage of that? It is only 61.16%. Only those people voted. Means out of 100, if you count it out of 100, out of 100 only 61% voted. The remaining number of people, they didn't participate in the process of election. Okay, then in the fourth Lok Sabha which held in 1967, how many percentage? Only 61.33. There is a slight increase. If you observe all this table and if we come here, 17th Lok Sabha, that the election which held in 2019, the percentage of people who participated in election, that is 61.11%. Means if you look at 1951 to 2019, there is, we say that it is almost 70 years of our independence and there are 17th Lok Sabha election held in our country. Still the percentage has increased very slightly, means still people are not participating in the process. Okay, means many people, they are away from this election process. They are not aware about it. Many people, they don't have access. Many people, they might don't want to vote also. This is the situation in India. So there is only just a small rise in number of people who are participating in the election. It has been observed that representative democracy cannot produce a perfect reflection of society. Why does they say this line, first line? Have you understood the meaning after reading the table? It has been observed that representative democracy cannot produce a perfect reflection of society. Why it is so? It is so because still many people are not participating in the election process. Then how the government that will reflect the society? जर तुमचं पार्टिसिपेशनच अजून कमी आहे, तुम्ही लोक जाऊन वोटच करत नसाल, then how government will reflect the society? It can't. So for that the percentage should grow at larger extent. Okay, actually it should be 100%. There is a realization that when interests and experiences separate us, it is important to ensure that communities that have been historically marginalized are given adequate representation. So for that, what is the another measure? Historically marginalized group. So they should have the interest and experience separate us. It is important to ensure that the communities that have historically marginalized are given adequate representation. म्हणजे त्यांना रिझर्वेशन दिलं पाहिजे गव्हर्नमेंट फॉर्मेशन मध्ये, पार्लमेंटरी प्रोसेसेस मध्ये, इलेक्शन प्रोसेस मध्ये. With this in mind, some seats are reserved in parliament for SCs and STs. STs means scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, which are from our history. Means we have learned this caste system in our history, how the lower caste people were discriminated. त्यांना जर अपॉर्च्युनिटीज नाही मिळाली तर ते एज्युकेट नाही होणार. त्यांना इलेक्शन प्रोसेस बद्दल माहितीच नाही मिळाली तर ते वोटिंग पण नाही करू शकणार किंवा त्यांचा लीडर पण एखादा कंटेस्ट नाही करू शकणार इलेक्शन मध्ये. सो फॉर दॅट दिस प्रोव्हिजन इज मेड. So reservation for SCs and STs, that is scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. This has been done so that the MPs elected from these constituencies will be familiar with and can represent Dalit and Adivasi interest in parliament. त्यांच्यातला लीडर जोपर्यंत निवडून येऊ शकत नाही तोपर्यंत त्यांचं रिप्रेझेंटेशन डेमोक्रेसीत होणारच नाही. मीन्स त्यांचं म्हणजे कोणाचं, जे शेड्यूल कास्ट आणि शेड्यूल ट्राईब्सचे लोक आहेत, हु आर लिव्हिंग इन रुरल एरियाज, ट्रायबल पीपल. सो their representation is very much important, they want to say in this paragraph. Okay, now next, now there is one more very interesting fact in India, the representation of women. Okay, what it is all about. Similarly, it has more recently been suggested that there should be reservation of seats for women. This issue is still being debated. 60 years ago, only 4% of MPs were women, and today it is just above 11%. Means 60 years back it was 4%, and 60 years later on it is still 19%, and we are fighting for the 33%, which is yet not achieved. Okay, that debate, that protest, that struggle is still going on. This is a small share when you consider the fact that half the population are women. So this is the contradictory side, correct? When in a country where number of women are almost equal to the number of men, but it is not the case in the parliament, it is not the case in the representation. मीन्स जरी अर्ध पॉप्युलेशन हे वुमनचं असलं तरी रिप्रेझेंटेशन मध्ये अजूनही आपल्याला किंवा वुमेनला निम्म्या सीट्स मिळालेल्या नाहीत. द रिप्रेझेंटेशन इज व्हेरी लेस compared to the population of women in the country. This is they want to say. That is why I highlighted this point. This is a small share when you consider the fact that half the population are women. कारण अजूनही फक्त 9% वरच आहोत आपण. Isn't it less? Okay, now I'm moving on to the last paragraph. It is issues of this kind that force the country to ask certain difficult and often unresolved questions about whether our democratic system is representative enough. Can we ask this question? Yes, we can. Because still many people are away from the women are away from. There are not yet representatives. Means there are not a number, good enough number. So this is we are still going to say that the sources or what are the modes or what are the different ways we are following and trying to achieve to get equality. It is not yet achieved. That is what they want to say in these lines. It is an issue of this kind that the force the country to ask certain difficult and often unresolved questions about whether our democratic system is representative enough. The fact that we can ask these questions and are working towards answer is a reflection of the strength and the faith that people in India have in the form of government. So to solve these issues, to solve, there are protests, struggles going on. Some way we can participate in democratic form of government where we want to achieve the 100% participation, where we want to achieve the equality. This way it is possible only through the process of election. In short, that is the meaning of the whole lesson over here. How, that is why they say why people are important in a democracy. Now, have you understood what they want to say in the last paragraph? Okay, I'm moving on to the PPTs now. Here we complete our lesson. Why do we need a parliament is over here. But I want to tell you, you have to read the glossary part, which is there at the bottom of the page number 40. Those are the meanings of words which had occurred in the lesson. And you have to read those meanings, then you will understand the lesson easily. Okay, so I'm moving on to the PPTs. How does an opinion becomes a law? Opinion means opinion given by the common citizen. When it is given, it get converted into a law. They pass a bill. Now, how that process exactly is, that process we are going to learn in the coming PPT stepwise. So understand it. What are those steps and how long the process is before passing any law? Okay. Here is a simplified version of a rather complicated process. Depending on the wants of the constituents, any minister can draft a bill because that minister is a representative of that constituent. So, what are the wants of those constituents from that constituency? He will draft a bill, means he will draft a proposal. Okay. Then, next, what is the next? Once your draft is ready, the draft is ready by the minister. Then, next process is the bill is introduced in either the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. हे इंट्रोड्यूस करायचंय म्हणजे काय करायचंय तर तुम्हाला ते तुमचा जो तुम्ही ड्राफ्ट बनवलेला आहे तो वाचून दाखवायचा अँड इन दॅट ड्राफ्ट व्हॉट यू वॉन्ट टू से व्हॉट यू वॉन्ट टू get sanctioned, approved from the government, you have to mention all those things. What are the problems? What are the solutions on that? That makes your draft ready. So that draft you have to read it out. Then that is introduction. In Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, you have to read it out in both the houses. Now next process. Once it is read out, once it is introduced, what is the next process? This bill should be considered and debated clause by clause. Means आता ह्याच्यावर डिस्कशन होणार आहे मेंबर ऑफ पार्लमेंट्स मध्ये किंवा राज्यसभेच्या सभासदांमध्ये. ह्याच्यावर डिबेट होईल, डिस्कशन होतील, ओपिनियन्स अजून सजेस्ट केले जातील, त्याच्यात काही चेंजेस सजेस्ट केले जातील. सो दॅट इज दे वॉन्ट टू से दिस बिल शुड बी कन्सिडर्ड अँड डिबेटेड क्लॉज बाय क्लॉज. नेक्स्ट, वन्स इट इज डन, इट इज डिबेटेड, इट इज कन्सिडर्ड. नेक्स्ट प्रोसेस इज द बिल इज वोटेड ऑन. त्याच्यावरती वोटिंग करणार आहेत हे मेंबर ऑफ पार्लमेंट्स. येस और नो, आर यू इन फेवर और यू आर नॉट इन फेवर, यू कॅन वोट लाईक दॅट. ओके. नाउ इट इज वोटिंग इज डन. नेक्स्ट, इफ इट्स गेट द मेजॉरिटी वोट, इट इज पास टू द अदर हाऊस. इट इज वी आर टॉकिंग फर्स्ट हिअर अबाउट लोकसभा. आता लोकसभेत ह्याला वोट मिळालं, मेजॉरिटी वोट मिळाले, माइट बी इन फेवर. But it is not yet over. It can't get turned into a law. It has to be passed in Rajya Sabha also. Along with Lok Sabha, the bill has to be passed in Rajya Sabha also, which is very, very important. Without the passing of Rajya Sabha, it can't be turned into a law. Okay. Now, next process. Process of introduction, consideration, voting, and passing is repeated in the other house. As I said, that other house is Rajya Sabha. Okay. The second house might recommend amendments. These amendments have to be approved by the first house by voting again. Amendments means what? The changes. किंवा तुमचा ऑलरेडी एक लॉ, एक तुमचं बिल बनलेलं आहे. जसं मी समजा एक फॉर एक्झाम्पल तुम्हाला दिलं आर्टिकल 21. Article 21 मध्ये if you want to make changes, those changes we call them as amendments. So those amendments will be considered and can be passed as a law. So these amendments again have to be discussed in the Lok Sabha. Again it will be debated, again it will be voted in the Lok Sabha. Next, final version passed in entirely by both houses. म्हणजे बोथ हाऊसेस मीन्स लोकसभा अँड राज्यसभा. प्रेसिडेंट अप्रूव्ह, इथे नाही थांबलं. आता लोकसभेत पास झालं, राज्यसभेने काही चेंजेस सजेस्ट केले, अकॉर्डिंगली द अमेंडमेंट्स वेर मेड, अगेन इट इज पास्ड ऑन टू लोकसभा, अगेन लोकसभा इज अप्रूव्ड, अगेन राज्यसभा इज अप्रूव्ड. नाउ इट इज द टाइम टू अप्रूव्ह बाय द प्रेसिडेंट. Once it is passed by both the houses, it should be approved by the President of India also. Now it is approved by President of India, bill becomes a law. Now have you understood the whole process? How a bill gets converted into a law? This is all process. First introduced by the minister in the Lok Sabha, then it will be debated, it will be discussed, then changes might be suggested, then it will be passed on to the Rajya Sabha. Once it is approved in Lok Sabha, then Rajya Sabha again will suggest some changes, then it will get again back to the Lok Sabha. Once it is done by the both houses, it is the time for the president to approve, and then that bill becomes a law. This is the whole process. Okay. In practical term, much like your school day, a typical day of the two houses of the parliament has clearly defined time slots for various purposes. आपण मागच्या पिरियड मध्ये त्यांचं टाइम टेबल बघितलं फ्रॉम 11 to 6 what they are doing, and as I said, these sessions do conduct regularly in a year. It is a periodic session. Okay, they have a fixed sessions. Winter session, rainy session, monsoon session, they call it as, and before the budget, after the budget, it is all conducted periodically. So during these sessions, they discuss on this, they pass all this, they introduce the bill and they make it a law. So this is the way how they work.
If you like our videos, do share them and subscribe to our channel. If you want awesome quizzes, write to us. Keep watching and keep learning with Walnut.